Welcome back to the Let's Play for Psychonauts, where we are joined today, very briefly admittedly, by an old fan favourite. You know him, you love him, you probably stalked him, it's Ace.
Hello there.
That's right, he's back again, and looking a bit like Stephen Merchant today. In fact,
Very posh-headed.
yeah, not very many people know that you are in fact Stephen Merchant, do they?
No.
So he changes his voice for this, you see. Anyway, today we are... In fact, I can't even remember what I'm doing. I'm running around on a giant chessboard of some sort. Not chess, war. Don't think we ever played that game, did we, as kids?
What game was that, sorry?
War, Risk, that sort of business.
Oh, yeah. No, we didn't. No. There's one game that we didn't play.
No, it's rather strange, really. We played a lot of different bits and pieces, but that was never one of them. Oh well. Cobweb duster. Got it. That should be fine, I reckon. Just gonna shoot some Napoleon-esque freaks and suffer tremendous slowdown for great justice.
It's a lot more different than what I thought it might be. To be honest, the actual gameplay itself. It seems a bit, I don't know, I think I was expecting something a bit more serious than what it is.
Well, I suppose that does have a lot to do with the... So I gave Ace a little summary of this game before we started. And when you think about it, when spoken in short, you know, weirdos stealing children's brains and psychic powers and secret agencies and stuff, it does sound like a very serious game. But if you contrast that with what actually happens, then, yeah.
I need the purse tag.
Apart from the guy who was on about, the dentist guy.
Noctelabato!
That's the one, yeah.
I do apologise if you can hear me coughing. You shouldn't be able to. I've got the microphone set to a different setting. But don't mind, look, I'll be the only thing that comes across. All you people will hear is...
I like the actual message you put on the screen. 30 minutes later, still missing the jump.
Yeah. Well, in case people haven't guessed, this is post-commentary. I had to cut this episode down. It was originally an hour and a half in length, believe it or not. However, that and some other jumps. Seriously, this jump here where I've just grabbed that pole. Seriously, the amount of times it took me just to get up there, you would not believe it. It didn't help, the game kept slowing down just as I was about to make the jump. So I was never entirely certain whether I jumped at the right point or whether I was at the apex of my jump and could start doing something else. And the fact that whenever you use the float ability you just saw there, Raz drops about 1.5 feet before it activates properly.
So the game does lag then?
It does when I'm recording.
Ah, right.
See, when I'm not recording, it's just fine. It's, cobweb duster. Sorry. Again, you've got no idea why I'm saying that. As far as Ace is concerned, I've got some sort of weird vocal tick going on. Burn, baby, burn.
Hey, look, a musket.
All my amazing psychic powers in this game, amongst them pyrokinesis. And I found a musket. That's what I was doing, wasn't it? I was looking for a musket for the farmer, in order that he'd go fight the soldier for me. It all makes sense in the end. Cannon fodder and the lot, you know.
Just seeing the basis of the game, it really reminds me, I don't know why, it just reminds me of Conker's Bad Fur Day.
It has got the same sort of cartoony feel. Except without the profanity. There's a lot of adult humour in there, just no profanity.
Ah, right.
You know, for better or worse.
Here's your special musket. Ready?
Found your musket? No, you can't go and rob the carpenter, you silly bastard.
Carpenter?
Seriously. I mean, you go and help a man find his prized musket, and the first thing he decides to do is thievery. God, what are you, a chav?
He's a strange looking guy, isn't he?
Oh, you mean old football head?
Yeah.
Well, I say football, rugby head. You know,
Yeah.
let's be British about it. That's why I just take a swig of tea.
Good old English tea.
Oh, of course, yeah. As much as there is such a thing, anyway.
Yeah.
So, in fact, didn't we have this debate a couple of months back? That thing about your father and wanting British coffee on his own.
Yeah. British coffee. British bacon, sausage and bean.
Basically, where was it he went in the end? Was it Spain or something, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, Spain.
So you should tell the story for this.
Oh, wait, bacon going to Spain. Oh, yeah. My dad going to Spain. Couldn't stand any of these Spanish food out there. Decides to walk into Spanish, kind of like a restaurant, and ask for a full English breakfast with a proper English brew. Nah, no chance.
Now, see, the best part of the story was that, assuming I'm remembering correctly, he'd actually bought his own little baggie of coffee, hadn't he?
Oh yeah,
He'd taken a small little bag of Nescafe, bought in a proper British store, over to Spain, so he could have a British coffee. I think shortly after this, AC had to point out to his father that coffee comes from Colombia. There's nothing British about it.
yeah. Thought because it was sold over here, it must be made over here. No.
Oh, it's great stuff though. It's just the wonderful things your parents do.
Oh yeah. Any way of embarrassment, they don't mind taking a pub on themselves to
No,
actually
definitely.
do that little pleasure there.
Most definitely. And we're searching for escargot, snails, for the greedy knight here, which is naturally on the other side of the map. So I can either run over there, or I can re-enlarge myself, walk the 2 steps, and then shrink myself again. It's sort of like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, but much faster.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a weird level. You've got 3 stages of size. You've got the main size when you're outside with Fred and Napoleon watching the game being played as a board game. Then you've got the level you just saw, where you're the size of one of the big pieces. Then you've got this size, where it's as if the chessboard, well, a game board is actually a real life world.
So does the reason you've come here obviously is because you've got this psychic power. Do you actually use that psychic power in the game at all, or?
You do use it in the outside world as well, yeah. Not just when you're in people's minds like you are here.
Ah, right. So you're actually in somebody's mind.
Oh yeah. Probably should have mentioned that earlier, really, shouldn't I? But yeah, you're inside a mental patient's mind in this case.
Ah.
Yeah, he's a bloke who went crazy after he attempted to beat a special needs chap at a game of Risk and kept getting his arse handed to him.
Ah, right. Okay.
Yeah, it was made especially worse by the fact that the bloke in question is Fred Bonaparte, the great grandson of Napoleon.
Ah, right.
So you can imagine being the descendant of such a famous general, and you have someone with half a brain keep beating you at a war game. It's
Yeah, it comes pretty much an overall embarrassment.
just a touch, yeah. And so as a result, the spirit of his dead ancestor came and attempted to possess his body, but didn't manage to quite do it properly. Well, at least that's what he thinks happened anyway. It's more likely he just snapped, but where's
Yeah.
the fun in that?
Yeah, they couldn't put that in there.
I mean, the plot of Ghost would have been a lot less romantic if it turned out Demi Moore was just going crazy. Could be more interesting, admittedly.
Yeah.
I wish I'm going to get flamed by various women for saying that. There you go, Tubbs. Escargot on the go.
You never get to see these people in these houses, though.
Oh, you do. You'll see one of them in a moment.
All right.
So once he's finished stuffing his face. There he is. A hearty knight.
Right.
With a giant F on the bottom. For fat. Presumably.
Very nice.
Now I'm going to use my psychic powers to move him across the board. To where he's supposed to be. Which is over yonder. And now begins one of the second most irritating parts of this level. And as you may have guessed, it once again involves jumping.
So this guy is actually going around into people's minds to help their minds or to...
Well, generally speaking, to help, yes.
Ah, right.
Yeah, there it is again. See, I even swear in the subtitles now. It's great. See, this was the jump. Basically, you go across here, along the type rope here, and yes, I have sped up the footage slightly just to get out some of the tedium. You do an almost impossible jump where you can't see because of the camera there. Then you run along this tightrope here, ignoring the figments, we can't bother to grab them. You jump across here, glide across here, just about make it. There should have been an enemy here, but I threw him in the water. Jump across here to this enemy, almost get knocked off the edge, smack him, grab him, and throw him at the pin that's blocking the drawbridge.
Ah,
Now,
that's simple.
Well, it looks incredibly simple when, you see me do it all in one swift run just there. But seriously, that took me an hour to get that right.
Ah.
Basically, if I wasn't missing the jumps, I was being knocked off the ledges by the enemies. Because those enemies firing the cannons have an annoying homing attack ability. Whereas I call it a homing attack. It's not actually homing, it's just they always seem to manage to fire at the exact right moment to hit you square on, no matter which way you're running.
Sounds like a lot of enemies in games.
Well, in games of this era, yeah.
Hmm.
People seem to think that a good way to make a game difficult was to make an enemy omnipotent. That's where the game hasn't loaded the window properly, just a big black space. Very professional. Well done, Double Fine Productions, well done.
You can't have everything in the game.
Says who? That's what cheats are for. Seriously though, I'm not going to use cheats for this game, because the last time I used cheats in a game, people got very annoyed with me.
Ah, right. Okay.
Yeah, you remember back when I was doing Outcast, the Jedi Knight game?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Well, basically, there's one level in that where it's got some incredibly cheap enemies. They'll just keep constantly firing sniper shots at you from halfway across the map and killing you in a couple of hits. Well, I got so annoyed I started using cheats to regen my health and my shield, and people got very annoyed about that.
Oh, right, okay.
Which I didn't particularly care, but,
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
but still, it impacted my view count and massive viewing horde that I am for YouTube. It's a thing.
What is this? Fred! Did you do this? Huh?
God, have we won the game yet? I think we have.
There is some Napoleon in your veins after all.
Oh, is this the ending then, or...?
This should be the end of the level, yeah.
Oh, the end of the level.
The future is yours, my Bonaparte. You are indeed a true warrior.
Yeah, I did, didn't I? 'Cause we got the knight into Napoleon's castle. That should be that.
Determination you showed here,
Alright, cool.
and your life will be an endless
In
parade.
case you're wondering why I haven't been able to figure out yet, it's because, as always happens when I have two people here, I've given Ace the headphone so he can get the full experience. Now I'm sort of guessing. It's probably a good reason why I should have put the subtitles on, really, but
You'll find out when you're older.
yeah.
That's
So many people use the subtitles. It's so cliche.
It's overrated.
There we go. Out of Fred's mind, back into our own.
Is he really gone? Hello? Hello? Anyone else in here?
Fred's on his own again. No crazy people in his head.
One person. Get me out of this dang jacket so I can go strangle me in order.
Help you out of that straitjacket because I need it for my disguise, my cunning disguise.
Right after
Although why I can't just set fire to the guard, I'm not entirely certain.
what?
I have that power.
War is hell, Rasputin.
So does Raz.
I'm sleepy. I'll take
Yeah.
care of Kristen for you.
Moving
Well,
on.
it seems like a good game. Not the best graphically.
He's got tiny arms. He's a freak. A freak, I tell you. But yes. So basically, that was that. Very short set, as I'm sure you all agree. Myself and Ace will see you all next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.